Good evening, everyone. So Joe Biden did this interview earlier with Cardi B, and it was an absolute disaster. And just to put this into context, he has pretty much refused to take on any real interviews with real reporters because whenever he does, it doesn't end well from it all. And this comes at a time where I had just made a video. I made a video just earlier today predicting that Donald Trump is going to have a historic number of black voters turn out and vote for him. And one of the reasons I mentioned in that video is because Joe Biden does himself no favors, especially when he gets interviewed by any of these black reporters. When he got interviewed by Charlemagne the God, you got that gem where he said that if you have to decide whether or not you're for me or Trump, that you ain't black. And then with the CBS reporter more recently, he asked the CBS reporter if he gets tested for cocaine, if he's a junkie. So all of these incidents combined do him absolutely no favors. And then today he gets the most softball interview you could possibly imagine, because I guess that CBS interview with that black reporter, that was just too hardcore for him. So now he gets interviewed by the never Trumper Cardi B, and it's still an absolute disaster. This video, it was a 16-minute interview that looked like it stitched about 50 different clips together to try to get Joe Biden, who speaks in these incoherent, mumbling utterances, to have complete coherent sentences. You would have just a single sentence. In one sentence, there'd be 3 cut clips in a single sentence. Just watch.
Exactly right. One of the things that I admire about you is you keep talking about what I call equity, just decency, fairness, treating people with respect. John Lewis used to say, the vote is the most powerful non-violent tool you have. Use the power to change for the change you want.
I feel bad for whoever had to edit that video, trying to piece these broken, fragmented clips together to make Joe Biden actually have a complete, coherent sentence. And then from there, of course, they talked about what is pretty much the #1 campaign that the Democrats are trying to campaign on, which is COVID. Trump did a disaster. He's killing everyone. And if we were in charge, we would have made everything better. So Cardi B expresses her concerns and asks, she just wants to know when COVID is just going to be over. I just wish we had a leader that would tell us when COVID was going to end.
Like, we're dealing with a pandemic right now, right? And I just want answers. I want to know when this is over. Like, I want to go back to my job.
Cardi B, I can tell you when COVID is going to end. If Joe Biden gets elected, COVID ends November 4th. I guarantee it. You won't hear another peep about COVID from the Democrats. Magically, it's going to go away. All the businesses are going to open back up, and that's how it's going to go down. And then Cardi B goes on to tell Joe Biden what she wants, because this was more of Cardi B telling Joe Biden what she wants. It seemed like Joe Biden was almost the interviewer and Cardi B was the interviewee, because Joe Biden hardly spoke. I mean, both of them can hardly speak, period. That's why the video had to be chopped up into so many clips. Cardi B can speak slightly better than Joe Biden, so she carried the lead and did most of the talking. And she went on to say that she just wants free health care and free education and wants black people to stop being killed. She didn't specify by who. I mean, I'm not sure if she meant by other black people or by cops, but we can assume she means cops, because the left never likes to mention and talk about black on black crime. And of course, she probably doesn't realize the statistics that a black person has a 4.5 times more likely chance to get struck by lightning than to be killed by a police officer while unarmed. But you can't bring up statistics because those are racist, and don't you ever mention any of these racist statistics to these people on the left. And then in terms of free healthcare and free education, these aren't things that Biden has even offered. It's like she's almost confused that she thinks she was interviewing Bernie Sanders, but guess what? That doesn't even matter, because Biden will morph into whoever he has to at the moment to please the interviewer, and then he'll morph right back as soon as he's done, because he doesn't have any strong conviction to pretty much anything. He'll say and do anything to get elected, to get into power, kind of like his running mate Kamala Harris. That's why they're almost so perfect for each other. And it's not just me that thought this video was an absolute disaster, that thought this was an absolute disaster of an interview. So far right now, this video has a giant sea of disproportional downvotes. It has 6,500 downvotes to 2,500 upvotes. And I mean, I would be hard pressed to find any comment that thought that this was an interview that made Joe Biden look good. Many of the comments were asking for the complete uncut and unedited video instead of the one with the 50 different cuts that they all had to stitch together to make Joe Biden sound somewhat normal and coherent and someone who's actually with it mentally. And I am really surprised that Joe Biden doesn't take all of the money that he is getting from Black Lives Matter and spend it on buying a group of internet trolls to upvote his videos and to actually give him some positive feedback on the comments. But anyway, hope you enjoyed my video. Please leave your thoughts in the comments below, subscribe, and I will see you all next time.